And then this year, I had to look my own mortality in the eye. I had to come nose to nose with death.
The sudden loss of Dawson's Creek star James Van Der Beek is sending shockwaves through Hollywood. And now, new details about his family's financial struggle and a viral fundraiser are adding another emotional chapter to the story. The actor died on February 11, 2026, at the age of 48 after a battle with stage 3 colorectal cancer, according to reports from People and multiple outlets. His wife, Kimberly, shared the heartbreaking news in a statement posted on Instagram, telling fans, "Our beloved James David Van Der Beek passed peacefully. He met his final days with courage, faith, and grace." The family also asked for privacy as they mourned the husband, father, and friend they lost. But the story didn't end there. Within hours of his passing, a GoFundMe campaign, shared across social media, began gaining massive traction. The fundraiser says the cost of medical care and the extended cancer fight left the family under financial strain, with donations aimed at covering bills, living expenses, and helping their 6 children maintain stability. The campaign surged rapidly, passing hundreds of thousands of dollars and even pushing its goal higher as supporters rallied around the late actor's family. Van Der Beek first revealed in 2024 that he was undergoing treatment for colorectal cancer, a diagnosis that stunned fans who had grown up watching him as Dawson Leary, the sensitive teen heartthrob who defined an era of television.
Today's my birthday, and it has been the hardest year of my life, and I wanted to share something that I learned with y'all. When I was younger, I used to define myself as an actor, right? Which was never really all that fulfilling. And then I became a husband, and that was much better. And then I became a father, and that was the ultimate. I could define myself then as a loving, capable, strong, supportive husband, father, provider, steward of the land that we're so lucky to live on. And for a long time, that felt like a really good definition to the question, who am I? What am I? And then this year, I had to look my own mortality in the eye. I had to come nose to nose with death. And all of those definitions that I cared so deeply about were stripped from me. I was away for treatment, so I could no longer be a husband that was helpful to my wife. I could no longer be a father who could pick up his kids and put them to bed and be there for them. I could not be a provider because I wasn't working. I couldn't even be a steward of the land because at times I was too weak to prune all the trees during the window that you're supposed to prune them. And so I was faced with the question, if I am just a too skinny, weak guy alone in an apartment with cancer, what am I? And I meditated and the answer came through. I am worthy of God's love simply because I exist. And if I'm worthy of God's love, shouldn't I also be worthy of my own? And the same is true for you. And as I move through this healing portal toward recovery, I wanted to share that with you because I think that revelation that came to me was due in no small part to all the prayers and the love that have been directed toward me. So I offer that to you, however it sits in your consciousness, however it resonates, run with it. And if the word God trips you up, I certainly don't know. I can't claim to know what God is or explain God. My efforts to connect to God are an ongoing process that is a constant unfolding mystery to me. But if it's a trigger, it feels too religious, you can take the word God out and your mantra can simply be, I am worthy of love. Because you are. Thank you for the love and prayers, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Over the years, he transformed his image, even poking fun at his own hunky persona, while continuing to act, raise awareness about screening, and focus on his family. Tributes began pouring in almost immediately after the news broke. Former co-star Busy Phillips wrote on Instagram that Van Der Beek was 1 in a billion and said she was simply so sad, echoing the grief spreading across the entertainment world. Celebrities including Jennifer Garner, Olivia Munn, and Alyssa Milano also shared condolences, while friends described him as devoted to his wife Kimberly and their 6 children, Olivia, Joshua, Annabelle, Emilia, Gwendolyn, and Jeremiah. Beyond Hollywood, his death is reigniting urgent conversations about colorectal cancer itself. Experts like Dr. John Marshall of Georgetown University's Lombardi Comprehensive Cancer Center have warned that the disease is increasingly appearing in younger patients, a trend that health advocates say makes early screening more critical than ever.
We're now starting to see more and more people in the 20, 30, and 40-year-old range developing colon cancer. At the beginning of my career, nobody that age had colorectal cancer. Now, nearly half of my clinic in Washington, D.C. is under the age of 50. Awareness among the medical community has improved, but even if we take into account earlier diagnosis, et cetera, the behavior of the cancer, just like our most recent victim, James, I think, he started off with a stage 3 disease, and a couple of years later, he's no longer with us. So it is an aggressive form of the cancer. If you have no family history of colon cancer and you're otherwise a healthy person, 45 is when you should get your first colonoscopy. You never want to be my patient. So get your screening early and then manage that with your gastroenterologist. There are some people who are opting out of colonoscopies to do stool tests and the like. But remember, if you do it in that direction, that's an annual test, not an every now and then. But just as importantly is if you're under the age of 45 and you are having some symptoms, change in bowel habits, bleeding in the stool, maybe just some funny changes in eating habits, don't ignore that. Don't sit on the sideline with that and literally sit on it. Get on in there and get checked. Well, if you're fitting the screening age, 45, and you haven't done it yet, don't postpone. Get in there and get screened. So that's number one. Second, don't ignore symptoms. So if you are having some funny bowel symptoms that are not going away, bleeding, change in bowel, stool caliber, this kind of thing, go knock on somebody's door and get it checked. Don't postpone. So try and catch it as early as you can.
Despite the illness, Van Der Beek continued to speak publicly about hope and awareness, once saying that if sharing his journey could help even one person avoid the same battle, that's magic. From teen drama icon to self-aware performer and outspoken advocate, his legacy now lives on through both his work and the movement to raise awareness about early detection, while fans around the world continue to rally behind the family he leaves behind.